Hey, everybody, welcome back to the I Feel podcast. I am your host, Miss Shay Ruff, and I am back here for a kind of different podcast with my brother, Emmanuel. DK Manny, rather. This podcast is going to be very personal because we are going to discuss an event that happened with us over the holidays ending 2020. And it's going to be more of us interviewing each other because we haven't had a chance to really dig deep into what happened. So we're going to discuss it in front of you guys. And we hope you enjoy it. Today's topic is I failed at taking responsibility for my own healing. And so, as you can tell by the topic, this is real personal. So, Manny, thank you so much for doing this with me because this is real personal. It's real intense. It's real. Yeah.
It's real.
So, I don't know where to start. Okay. So I guess we could tell the story, right? We tell the backstory of what happened.
Absolutely.
So okay. What happened was Manny and I are not only do we have the same mom, but we have the same father. We had not been in touch with our father for 23 years. And we recently, I guess October, November of 2020. October. Yeah, October. So October, we reconnected with parts of my dad's side of the family, which led us to our dad. So we grew up in a single parent household. I remember more of my dad because I'm the oldest and Manny was a baby when he was in and out with his shenanigans. So long story short, 3 days before my birthday, which is November 14th, my dad called to tell me happy birthday. After 23 years, the last time I had seen him was my 13th birthday, 23 years ago. So we reconnected 3 days before my birthday. And he called me on my actual birthday and we conversed and everything. This whole situation has been, initially it was very uncomfortable, right?
Man, for me, it was awkward. Truthfully going into it, I guess, even to some extent now, like I was really kind of unaffected by the process. I just was moving along with everything, if that makes sense. It didn't really matter if it hit, didn't really matter if it missed, because it was something that I had basically went without my entire life. So wanting to have the energy to open up was like, I don't really have to do this, or I don't really see the purpose in doing this. But I realized that I needed it, basically for my own development. Even being a man, like I needed that. It was therapeutic in the end. But yeah,
So what happened was, speaking of the awkwardness, Emmanuel's birthday, Manny's birthday is December 14th. We are officially a month apart. But before his birthday, his wife, Michelle, the wonderful Michelle, she was orchestrating a surprise birthday party in our hometown, which is New Orleans. And I had been in contact with my dad, told him that I would be home around that time, and he asked to see us. I did not tell Manny initially because it was again uncomfortable situation, and I'm probably going to keep using that word because uncomfortable just fits the scenario. Long story short, I told my sister-in-law what I was doing, and she said that she would try to talk to Manny because initially Manny didn't want any contact with that side of the family. And so she called, usually she texts me. This time she called me and was like, Manny wants to go and see your dad. And so we went and saw our dad the day before Manny's birthday. And his 30th birthday, which is pivotal because I just think men, Black men especially, turning 30 is a beautiful thing, and it should definitely be celebrated. And so as a sister, I definitely didn't want what my dad did to hinder the rest of his life, because 30 definitely brings so many great things. And so I didn't want any of his best days to be hindered by the history of our dad. So December 13th, 2020, we go and see our dad. And this is the part where we start to discuss what our experience was. So, Manny, I'm gonna let you go first.
Man, I like how you threw that one. It was surreal for me. I guess what really hit it in a lot of ways for me was the fact that initially my wife was there, after years of me explaining this particular situation, and then kind of having it hit home a lot closer than what we even expected. So that was cool for me. And then on top of that, having two of my boys with me to kind of see this, I thought that was a way of just showing them that we all have, these situations that we need to go through. We may not understand it initially, but it's something that has to happen. And if it's there, that you need to take hold to it. I'm just really still mind blown at it, just recapping it. But I believe I needed that. Even though it was just that particular moment, I actually took a lot away from it. For me, on so many personal levels. And one thing I try to hold on to is the fact that, okay, I was big enough to kind of do this. I don't really feel like it's like scratching off a bucket list. It's like, what do I do next? And that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in life. Because my entire life I grew up with one parent, you know what I'm saying? And that was my mom. So seeing her go through certain things and then kind of feeling like, okay, maybe if he was here, you could have prevented this. And then a lot of things I went through is like, okay, maybe you had answers for the questions I had to ask. And I just had to really answer a lot of those questions myself in life. But for me on the back end, it was like probably the most emotional I've ever been outside of like losing a loved one. You know what I mean? Because I'm in my head, I'm calm on the surface, man. I'm like a duck in water, bro. Like I'm cool up here. Man,
But my feet.
just don't look under me right quick. Just let me keep moving. Cause that was my brain. I'm just trying to digest it all. I'm just trying to take it all in. It's just trying to take it all in.
So of course, for years, I was like, if I ever see my dad, I'm going to say this. If I ever run up on him, I'm going to do this. And after a while, I guess I was just like, well, we ain't ran into each other. We haven't crossed paths, or anybody that could get us connected has ever come to the surface. I was just like, well, it ain't going to happen. I mean, if he died or whatever, I mean, I might go to the funeral. And that's just my honest opinion. Or either I'll find out years later,